Grand rising, powerful beings. Today I'm gonna be talking about playing with your shadow self. Those of who, those of you who know knows. Those of you who don't know don't know. You don't know what the shadow is. The shadow are normally parts that we try to hide, things we don't like about ourselves, things we try to keep in the dark, things we keep in the closet. You ever heard of the things get your monsters out of the closet? That's what I'm gonna be talking about. I'm gonna be talking about just like that movie Monsters Inc. Getting the monsters out of the closet and starting to learn how to play with them. See the fact that, it is part of you that you've been kind of like ignoring. And because of that, you made yourself a villain or you made it a villain. So the shadow self ain't nothing but the things about you that you say, hey, I don't like that. So you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna ignore it. You see, the moment you just hide that shadow in the closet, now you're turning it to a serial killer. So it starts killing the possibilities for how you can be, for how you can enjoy your life. So keep listening to me and keep listening to this podcast if you want to tap into just how to play with the shadow self, just a play on words, just meaning how to be in touch with the parts that you don't like so that way you can start the process of healing. Let's get it. So, what do I mean by playing with the shadow self? Listen, if you've been in this holistic world, if you look at life with a holistic paradigm, if you tapped into healing, into health, herbs, whatever, you know about the shadows. And you probably learn about the shadows. A lot of people say, I got to do my shadow work. And of course, Ed comes with the timely messages. You get what I'm saying? That's what Ed talks daily, intuitively, because I just feel like there's a lot of people right now in this moment, in this season, in this winter season of their life, feel like they're running away from certain shadows, which means that certain parts that make them feel shameful about themselves, certain part that make them blame themselves, certain part that says, oh man, I feel very guilty about that. Like, why the heck did I do that? Why am I this way? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you might even realize, shit, I'm the toxic friend. All those parts are parts of the shadows. Or just the way, like, you're like, damn, this is kind of toxic behavior. Not being able to say no causes me to be in situations that I don't want to be in. And I keep perpetuating the same cycle. So if you feel like, this is me, I am being my worst enemy, this is a good episode to listen to, because I'm going to go in on playing with the shadows. Of course, we're gonna light it up a little bit. And by that, I just mean I'm going to make it less heavy, right? Because we're just going to talk about it like it's just playing. Okay, so I just pulled up a clip from Monsters Inc. And there was these kids, they're in their bedroom and they're scared of monsters. And the monsters come out the closet and apparently they started to play with the monsters. And then there was a scene with a little girl leaving and it's like, I don't want to leave, come with me. At first, they were really, really fearful of the monster. Like, this monster's gonna come get me. You know how you say the monster's under your bed, is in your closet? Those terms, let's take it internal. The monster's in your bed. When you go to sleep at night, this is deep. When you try to go to sleep at night and you can't fall asleep, those are the monsters coming up. Those are the shadow parts of you. Those are the parts where you feel like, I can't sit here. I have to do something to avoid being here. So you find a distraction. These are the monsters coming up. And we're just going to name it that way, right? They're not really monsters. They're just kids crying for help. They're just kids roaring to protect themselves, right? They're just parts of you that haven't grown enough yet to speak in eloquent words what is really happening, so you just call them monsters. So it's just like, let me give you an example. You're like, you know what? I just feel like I can be very aggressive with my words. Like I could curse somebody out till they literally they just lose all their vitality. I could literally curse them out with my words. And you're like, you know what? I tend to snap on people a lot, and sometimes they don't even deserve it. And you're like, you know what? Inside of me, I know I'm a good person, and I really care about people. I don't want to hurt them. It's just that they just get me so mad. You know what I'm saying? So automatically there's a lash out on people just because they get me so mad. I hate people, right? Your shadow self, part of your shadow is going to express things like that. I hate people, but really you don't. You know what I'm saying? So this is the monster I'm talking about. The monster that can really go rampant and do crazy stuff that you like, yo, I didn't even know I had that in me. You get what I'm saying? Those are the monsters in the closet. So what do we do normal of the time? We're like, oh no, we normally have a fearful relationship when it's time to really deal with it. When we're playing the role of the monster though, there's no really fear. The fear is so underneath the surface that it looks like you're bold, in fact. Usually your shadow self come out as boldness, but it's usually telling you that you don't have enough control. When your shadow's blurred out and you don't stay in the light, it's usually because you're not in the enlightenment stage of dictating how you want to be. So parts of you that you never really build a relationship with or kind of like understand where it's coming from just blurt out, and you're just like, damn, the fire is done, and then people are running away and they're like, yo, I don't want to deal with this person. And then people start labeling you as, yo, they just pissed off, they're angry, this person is toxic, all this stuff. But it's not even you in reality. It's just a part of you that you haven't learned how to play with. So you still look at it, you're running away from it. So now you never really understood what's in front of you. That's why it hasn't been healed yet. So playing with the monster starts with, first, you have to not see it as a monster. You have to see it as just part of you that you have not yet dealt with or healed from. So you're like, oh, you're saying that I need to not see my own qualities that may be toxic or non-serving. Don't see it as a monster. You're like, what? But I need to eradicate this from my life. Okay. You remember you had a little kid and you're like, yo, you can't hang out with Johnny. What do? You make sure you hang out with him in the corner, whatever. So when you tell your brand that, yo, you can't be like this, let's just ignore it. Your brain is that little kid. It's just gonna come up randomly and you have no control over it. But once you start to curate a space where you can play with Johnny, you can understand where Johnny's coming from, then it's different. So here's the difference. One of us, I'm running away from it. The other one is I'm just dealing with it. So if there's a part of me that I'm like, yo, I don't really like it, take some time and see it. Even talking about it, even expressing it to somebody else can help. Just like, you don't have to, oh, this is my shadow self. It's just like, yo, you know what? I apologize. Sometimes, I tend to do that and I'm reacting off of that. And, that's not really who I am. And I apologize. This is how, boom, boom, boom. This is also understanding it. And it's also laughing at it. It's like, yo, what am I doing right now? Am I really doing this? You got to ask yourself, yo, am I really doing this right now? You get what I'm saying? Because you might catch yourself in that process. And of course, those who know. A lot of people are like, yo, I don't even know what shadow work. What are you talking about, shadow? And like, you confusing me, okay? Let me just say this. There are habits, behaviors, and temperaments about yourself that you don't like. There are things that you did that you don't like. You had sex with 20, 30 people. You're like, I hate that about myself. So you feel really bad about that. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm a horrible person. You gotta learn how to play with your shadows. Playing with your shadows is just a term. But what it means is you get in a space where you accept it, you see it is, and you also see the humanness in you and why, what was it that you needed. You give compassion. Because we make decisions on our level of consciousness. Usually some decisions are reacting to things that happen to us, to things that happened, and to things that's happening. Either we're trying to escape what happened to us, we're trying to escape what happened, and we're trying to escape what's happening. So everything you do is a result of something that happened. But the moment you let what happened dictate how you're going to happen right now, and he said, this is it for my life, and you say, the only way I can be now is to blame and shame myself, I'm forever going to be a whore. That's not going to work for you. If you keep blaming, shaming yourself, that's not going to work for you. At some point, you have to sit with the little girl who needs love and have a conversation. Because the shadows that look like monsters is just a little kid crying for help, right? That's why I put this video up and say, your shadows is just a little kid crying for help, and you're not helping, you're shunning them. You're like, man, I can't play with you. Get out of here. Like, look what you did. I can't play with you. You got cooties. Yo, just take it back, right? When you was a little kid, you little girl, you're like, man, you got cooties. You said, little boy, no, he don't have no cooties. Ain't even a real thing. But that's just your way of saying, stay away from me, but I really want you to come talk to me. When the girls tell boys they got cooties or they ugly, it just means that you cute. I like you. That's usually what it meant. So we do the same thing. We're like, yo, you got cooties, bro. Like, yo, I don't want to deal with you. So it's like, it's just a little kid. Why are you doing that? You actually want to build a better relationship. You want to grow. And for some of you who's listening, you're like, man, it sounds like an identity crisis here. You're talking about my shadow, light, little kid. I'm like, what? These are just ways of terming it. Why do I mean by little kid? For somebody who have no clue about this stuff, a little kid represents the childhood traumas, childhood programming, childhood mentality, and childhood paradigm of the world that has literally running your life, even if you know it or you don't. So what do I mean by that? The childhood stuff between the ages of 1 through 7, there are specific things from your childhood that is now affecting your relationship as an adult. Whether it's the way you were brought up, whether it's the things that happen, and all of these things come up. And why those things create either the angels or the monsters. I don't know if you've ever seen like the Joker or any movie with a big theme spot. Here's how it goes. There's a little kid who's just full of love and light. You hear this a lot. Love and light, peace and love. Y'all know. If y'all part of y'all know. So peace and love and light. That's the little kid. Light, love, laughter. That's what a little kid is full of. But then something happens. Little kid is like, yo, I thought life was, but now I concluded that life is. Think about it. A little kid between 1 to 7 concluding about what life is. That is a recipe for continuous disaster. So that's what happened to most people. Most people decide how life is going to be and how life is from 1 to 7 based on the little kid that knew nothing about what is going. So between 1 to 7, you've already dictated that, you can, as a little kid, if something traumatic happened, you could dictate that every single guy on this earth is only here to use and abuse, and I only deserve using and abusing because it happened. So now you walk around, a little girl, a little boy, really crying out for help, but it looks like now you feel like a monster. That's usually how monsters are built, with traumas that's unresolved, and it becomes the same person that was inflicted a trauma upon now inflicts a trauma out, and that same trauma that you inflict out then comes right back to you and it hurts you again. And this is the cycle of traumatic experiences. I experienced the trauma, and it says, oh, this is how life is now. But that's not really how life is. It's just on the basis of what happened. Oh, now this is how life is. So now you start to play a different role. So a lot of people say, you know what? I'm going to be this way. Listen, this is how life is. People use and abuse me. So I need to start to be aggressive and be the user and abuser. So now you start to use and abuse people. And then now you're like, oh my goodness, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? I don't like that, but I like it. So sooner than later, you start having a identity crisis. You don't know if you want to abuse and abuse people. You don't know if you just want to be a good person. Now you're just confused. So now that confusion becomes all types of, oh man, is this me? Who's me? Who's I? Then you start losing control of who am I? Am I the person who do this, or am I really? So guess what? Unless we start playing with the shadows, we won't understand where it's coming from. So this is why people go to therapy, to uncover the stuff that they concluded between 1 and 7 on the basis of something that should not necessarily have to happen. So playing with the shadows is a lot about accepting. It's about healing. It's about understanding that, am I inflicting the pain upon in order to try to prevent it from happening? And is it healthy for me? So like, for instance, the person who was often like the lonely kid who said, I felt abandoned, becomes the person who abandons. So you're like, man, I feel like a monster. What's wrong with me? Why am I doing that? You're like, I don't want to be this way. You see, you've been feeling so bad about, I feel like a monster. Why am I not calling, not texting, not hanging? No, it's time that you really start to spend time with that little kid and say, "Oh, you're not a monster. You're just a little kid who was going through that. Oh, I get it." Now show more love and compassion, understanding. Like you're like, you know what, Ed? You're not in the past anymore. You got it's a constant reminder. So playing with your shadow self is being present. It's like, yo, I'm not in the past anymore. Oh, okay. I see how the themes right now is happening because of the themes then, but oh, I'm not in that anymore. So it's a distance. You have to have a concept of time and what happened to see if it's repeating again. Okay, so that was a lot, right? But we're gonna give you a little review, a little refresh, okay? But while y'all coming in here, stay with me, I'm gonna give you a little refresh. So here's what I'm talking about. Basically, I'm talking about the shadows. Most of us, we run away from the shadows because we think they're very scary. We run away from parts of us that we don't necessarily like, that is either self-sabotaging, either sabotaging outside situation, our relationships, our finances, our business, whatever it is. So normally people run away from that. They don't want to deal with it. They want to talk about it. And normally we avoid it. Like, yo, this is, I don't like doing that, you know? Oh, let me stop doing it. Oh, you know what? I'm doing too much. I don't like doing that. Okay. I'm saying once you start to create another relationship with it where it's not a one of blame, shame, guilt, it's one of like understanding, one of reflective, one of like, yo, I'm going to reflect on it. I'm going to understand it. I'm going to heal from it because I'm going to accept and forgive. This is where the healing happens. It's like if you look at a monster's face, just like I put a video of Monsters Inc., you might say, oh, that's so scary. It's scary because guess what? The face looks different than yours. You never seen it before. That's why aliens may look scary, is because they're not of the same kind. But when the monster starts to speak, when the monster starts to express, you realize that, oh my goodness, we feel and express the same thing. So now you're like, oh, monster looks scary, but monster is not scary. So now you start to let your guard down. And then soon you realize there is no monster. It's just me. So now you no longer start looking at a distant, alienated person. You're looking at yourself, and now you became one. It's like the light and the shadow has now became a full. Because the shadows is a reflection of the light. The shadow is when you are in between the sun and whatever, like when you're in between the sun. If you place yourself in between the sun, there's going to be a shadow that shows it. So guess what? When we get enlightened, we able to see something. When we see a shadow, what most people do is, oh my goodness, shadow, scary. No, don't let the shadow scare you. You got to understand that the shadow is only because there's light being placed on the spirit of you. So now you can see the shadows. There's a reason for that. So you're like, oh my goodness, what is this enlightenment that allows me to see me, then allows me to see the reflection? Oh, then you start to understand that, oh, to become aware of this is a point of healing, because now you're getting insight on some stuff that's part of you, but you've been ignoring. That if you only dealt with it, you can be in alignment. But here's the thing. Shadows only happen at a certain angles, which means if there's a certain synchrony and balance between one object, the sun, and the other, the shadows will be so aligned that the shadow is there, but you don't even see it. It doesn't become two people. That's so deep. I never thought of it that way. It's not two people. If there's a certain alignment, you have a shadow. This is why when you're making video, there's a specific angle you want to look at it from. So as you start to shift the angle you look at it from, you start to be in alignment with the light, and then it becomes like a planetary or an alignment here. Where people see you, they see you as the light. Of course, the shadows are still here with you, but they're not two anymore. They just became one. When one actually suits the other. One reminds and humbles the other. One also enlightens and is there. So what do I mean? There's a very loving parts to myself where I'm like, I need to be here for you. How can I help? Boom, boom, boom. And there's another part of me, especially as an Aquarius man, who just don't give a fuck. I'm just very two-faced, right? But it's like, I have a part of me that is that is humanitarian. I need to save the whole world. But there's also a part of me that says, listen, I don't give a fuck. So I can also just be like, don't care. But guess what? How do I align both of them? I align both of them because I understand that I really do care. So the moment I just feel like, man, why am I like this? Why can't I just let stuff go? I just have to remind myself, oh, I really do care. This is my true intentions here. You know what I'm saying? So when you find that, and then when you realize that, oh, why they caring enough about me? Why they just care? Why they just don't give a fuck? Then the shadow self reminds you that, oh, I don't give a fuck too. Oh, okay, I get it. So that's why they're like this. So guess what? If you only have the light, you only see other people's bad qualities as monsters. But once you got both shadow and the light, you can see the light and the shadows. And that gives you enough balance to be able to forgive and grow. Because now you can't take the peck out of this person's eye if it's in yours. Or you can't say, don't ever be this way ever again. You have to always be, because you know you too messed up. You know you too went to that. Sudani, I know Aquarius gang, you know. Throw your air sign up in the air. Okay, I'm tripping. All right, I'm not tripping though. But listen, what I'm saying is this, bro. Shadows and light work because we need to also learn how to forgive and grow. Both of them shine light on each other. It's a beautiful blend. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say you're dealing with somebody and you notice their shadow parts. That gives you enough space to be compassionate. Because you're like, yo, this person is acting out like this because I can already tell, oh my goodness, this is a little kid crying out loud for help. It's not even really them. Guess what? At this moment, you can have arguments with people and still be friends with them. This is a beauty, not a curse. The people who often run away from their own shadows run away from everybody that shows a piece of their shadow. Because it's like, I can't no longer, oh my goodness, there's a shadow part to you? Oh, I'm good. Oh, you mean to tell me that's because you practice that so much with yourself that every time you see your shadow, you run away subconsciously, but then you still operating in it, and then you expect everybody else to be perfect. You never forgiven yourself, so now you never forgive other people. You never been compassionate towards yourself, so now you never compassionate towards other people. Now you became oblivious because you don't even know that's the case, and you're like, yo, I'm just me. This is just the way I am. A lot of times when you run away from shadows and you don't play with them or get in touch with them, you just say, you just put up a wall and say, well, that's the way I am. And you're like, oh, that's just the way I am. That's just me, man. Nah, you see, a lot of people, the work that they can do to heal, they put on a face that they're healed in order to have a status when they can actually do the work. And sometimes the work is just admitting. The work is just forgiving. The work is just accepting. Admitting, accepting, forgiving. Admitting, accepting, forgiving. Admitting, accepting. I admit that this is the case. I accept that is or was the case. I forgive that case was or is. You're like, yo, that sounds so easy, but it's not that easy to do. I know. Oh, you mean to tell me you trying to beat monsters, but you want the monster beating to be easy? No, you're going to get some knots too, my friend. You're going to get some knots. You're going to get some bruised knees. You're going to get your feelings hurt. Okay? It's part of it. You're like, no, I want to heal. I want it to be pretty. I know it looks pretty. The holistic stuff, the garden, the trees, got the water, the plants, and, kumbaya meditation. It looks really, really nice, But when you have to do internal stuff, it's not. It is nice when you get the peace and you do the qigong, you do the yoga. You're like, I feel great. But it's also, you got to do the other work too. It's going to be part of it. And during winter, it's a perfect opportunity. So now, I don't know if y'all in tune with the detox cleanse. I say you want to fast around this season because this is going to help you with the shadow parts. I said, listen, there's other things that can assist you, You know, some people ayahuasca. You got ayahuasca, right? They even have ayahuasca pills now, right? I was like psychedelics, psychedelic mushrooms, different things that can help you tap into the parts of you that you don't want to deal with. So I'm telling you, it might be so, like, some of you, you need to do that, because that will, maybe you need a little guidance, but that will help you tremendously. Because around December, and there is always gonna be a theme where everything from the year comes down to a month. Or everything from last year or last 5 years come down to like a single season. And you might be feeling all of these energies, and I don't know, why am I feeling this way? That's why I say this is the time when you want to do the inner work. You want to do the detox. You want to cleanse. You want to fast. You want to journal. You want to surround yourself with powerful people. You want to align yourself with powerful beings, right? In all different areas. You want to make sure that, you know, you're looking at the finance, how to build your business. You're looking at how to be productive. You're looking at the health. You're looking at the body. You're looking at the spirit. You're looking at all aspects, because you can change the cycle. You know, around December, some people's businesses start to slow down. Guess what? You do more than you would do normally. You're like, yo, guess what? I'm going to change the rhetoric. In fact, I'm going to make December a best prosperous. I'm going to be more consistent. Because, like, guess what? While everybody's like, oh, I need to rest and chill, it's good we rest. You're like, I'm going to rest because it's going to be part of my lifestyle. But at the same time, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be active. The people that they're not seeing their posts, I'm going to make sure I post more than them now. I'm going to put more offers out. I'm going to do what I need to do. So part of this season is just like, yo, let me do different. And it's also some people, what they need to do more is rest around this time. It's focused on healing. It's focused on other things. Everybody's cycles are different, but once you find your cycles, you can switch it around. Because if you like, every January I go in there with low momentum, you might need to start cultivating momentum starting from December, right? That's my entire philosophy is you want to have a powerful December because it literally leads you to a powerful January, okay? So once again, that was the part about the shadow self. Guess what, man? I got so many books in me. I got to bring these books out. I'll be saying that every day. Guess I got to keep speaking it and making it happen. But we write in the book with the words. But listen, y'all. We've been here for a while. And we're about to go. I'm about to go. But I want to invite you, if you're not detoxing, fasting with me, text winter cleanse to my number, 561-510-9605. Text winter cleanse. And guess what? Guess what that do, man? By texting winter cleanse, guess what you're going to be able to do? You're going to be able to get access to the 21 days of winter detox. So I have a detox for 21 days where literally I'm going to guide you from week 1 to week 2. Week 1 is about letting go. Week 2 is going to be about fasting, and week 3 is going to be breaking the fast. So I've been doing the detox all year. I've been doing it every season, right? So it was one of the tools that I learned from Dr. Love that was one of the most effective ways for me of just keeping and just evolution every seasonal change. New moon is on the 4th, halfway through the 18th, full moon, then the 20th is a new season. So this next couple of weeks is just a powerful transitioning to winter. And you know, there's so many fear things going out. Fear. So you got to take care of your kidneys. So this is why we're focusing mainly on the kidneys. Hot liquids, we're detoxifying the kidneys. So we got week 1, week 2, week 3. Today is day 2. And I want to invite everybody here. Listen, if you go to my website, you're going to see the option. It's just a one-time offer. All you need is $73. My little kid said, you need $73. I got $73. You know what I'm saying? So I done do the little marketing there. So for $73, you can get access to this. And this is going to be this sale is going to go throughout the entire December. So we got a Cyber December sale, right? You know, I didn't do the Cyber Monday, Black Friday, boy. But I'm going to do a whole Cyber December sale. Cyber December means you're going to get access to this detox cleanse all December. Yo, but it's next level. Now, you like, yo, Bill, podcasts are dumb. important. I need these podcast motivation. Yo, Ed, can I talk to you one-on-one, bro? Guess what, y'all? I'm a whole coach out here, which means I help people transition to the holistic lifestyle. I also teach people holistic tools and practices to help them cultivate a peace of mind. The basic, simple things that I can share with you can actually make a dramatic change. So guess what? Within the same offer, y'all, $72, $73. I got 73. Guess what? For only 73, I got you 2 coaching calls in that. Yo, you know how much that's worth? That's a $200 value. 2 coaching calls, right? You got 2 coaching calls. You're going to have access to Rising Prime and the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe for a whole month. That's another $59 value. Okay? So $200 value, $59 value, and then you're going to get access to the Detox Cleanse. That's another $49 value. So we have $59.49. Wow. That's $109. And then $200, that's $309 value. So that's a $309 value. You only get it for $73. You get what I'm saying? So you get 2 coaching sessions, you get the detox plan, and you get Rising Prime sessions. So every day, 7 a.m. Eastern, you could come Rising Prime. That includes personal development, includes movement, it includes mindful breathing, it includes the Qigong, and it includes some motivation. All right? So you're going to tap in with me on the Zoom. Guess what? If you can't show up, you're in the West Coast, I got you. We got the replays. So this offer is not going to be out for a long time. This is going to be perfect for people who's looking to build momentum going into the year. It's only a one-time payment. There's no subscription to this. $72. All right. So listen, I want to say, listen, y'all don't want to wait on it. Just go to my website, holisticlifestyletribe.com, and then you're going to get for $72, you're going to get the detox for winter detox to boost your immune system. So go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and then go to winter detox. In fact, go to detox.holisticlifestyletribe.com and then you're going to get access to the detox. It's not up there yet. So for those of you who's watching live, just go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. Those of you who actually watching the replay, go to detox.holisticlifestyletribe.com and you're going to be able to subscribe. You're going to be able to join and start the detox. So today's day 2 is perfect time to jump in. Here's the value of starting the detox now. If you start the detox now, you're going to get text messages and daily guidance. If you do it, it's going to be live. But if you wait till after the 21st or the 14th, you're going to end up in week 2 and you're going to have to start over by yourself in week 1. So if you wait, you're like, I want to start next week, it's not going to be the same. So right now I'm sending out a text message every day. We're also having the Zoom calls in alignment with those. So everything is in alignment from December 1st to December 21st will be the fast. Then I'm going to start another one from January 1st to January 21st. And then another one from February 1st to February 21st. Those are going to be the 3 detox for winter. And then we're going to have another detox right after that for spring. 11/11, now's your time. This is your time to join, to tap in. All right, so go to holisticlifestyletribe.com, yeah, sign up, and let's get it, man. But that's pretty much my whole spiel today. I appreciate y'all for continuously tapping into this podcast. I know it added value to you. The sun is all up in my face over here. You see, I'm seeing both look, I'm both in the shadow and in the light, baby. You know, the light's going right across my face, but you know, we're still making it do what it do. That's that's pretty much it, y'all. Y'all stay blessed, stay in your power. Remember, listen, this year, specifically for me, if I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I have grown a lot because there was a lot of parts of me I didn't like, and I'm friends with them now. You know what? I talk about them now. I express them to people. And yo, that has helped me forgive and grow. It has helped me accept and move on. So this is why I kind of do what I do. It's just a reminder to you, just like it's to me. And I've done many different things this year to help me just face those things. Like I said, psychedelics was a very good use So I invite y'all to really tap into all the things that you need to deal with, because the moment you deal with them is the moment they stop dealing with you. And you build a better relationship, all right? So with that being said, I want to invite y'all to just keep doing the work. All right, make sure y'all tap into the website. Go to edtalksdaily.com to subscribe to this podcast. Once again, I told y'all, this is a podcast. If you haven't subscribed yet or left a review, make sure you leave a review, because this podcast needs your support to grow and reach the masses. So go to edtalksdaily.com/review, leave your boy a review. And I appreciate y'all for watching. Remember, you have the unlimited power within you to tap in both to the light and the darkness and utilize that as a synchronity, so that way you can bring yourself out here, because the world needs what you got. Within you lies a lot of gifts, treasures, talents, abilities that the world have not yet seen. Until you believe it and you actively do stuff to express it and bring it out here, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things that you have to offer. All right? So I want to remind everybody here to remember. Let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. It's the Holistic Motivator, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.